Hi, and welcome back to the Living Tree series about the Tree of Life. This is Bridget, the voice and writer of The Gilded Leaf. If you don't know me, I am a leaf lover, a tea drinker, a slightly over-caffeinated human, and yes, still someone who pees a lot from all of this tea. If you are new here, well, welcome in. Find your headphones or find something warm to hold to settle into wherever you are. There is no rushing in this room on a Friday evening. So before we go any further, let's get into today's steeping. I am brewing borage flour. Small, star-shaped blue, so bright it looks like it wandered out of a stained glass window. She tastes faintly like cucumber, cool and green. Fun fact, the Romans mixed her into wine before soldiers went into battle. Not to make anyone reckless, but because of what her name means. Corago. I bring heart. Medieval knights had her stitched into their scarves. Their ladies gave them for the same reason. She is the herb of courage in the oldest, most literal sense. Not fearlessness, but heart on purpose in the exact moment that calls for it, which is precisely what blooming has always required. If you can get your hands on her, borage is worth seeking out for this one. Most health food stores or online apothecaries carry the dried flour. If not, brew whatever you love most. What matters is that it's warm and that you hold it with both hands. We are going somewhere tender today, and it is good to have something warm to carry you through. Let me tell you exactly where we've been so this stays easy to follow up the tree, no matter when you found us at the table. We started at the ground at Malkuth, the kingdom, the body, the actual earth beneath the feet. Dandelion root, burdock root, the deep, unglamorous medicine of things that go down first so everything above them can hold. Then we moved up the tree to Yesod, the foundation, the dream space, the lunar territory just beneath the surface of ordinary life. We talked about mugwort, the silver-backed and quiet tending the threshold between what we know and what is almost remembered. And then we stepped sideways on the tree of life into Hod, the mind's quiet architecture, the sacred editor instead of the inner critic. We talked about rosemary and tulsi, peppermint and oat straw. And last week we crossed to Netzach, her partner across the tree, which is about desire, instinct, and the heart's stubborn endurance. We talked about hibiscus, which is tart and honest. 4 steps, 4 ways of learning to stand. And today, finally, and exactly on time, despite what the calendar may say, we arrive at the center, the place each path on this tree eventually leads. Today, we arrive at Tiferet. So let's talk about the teaching of Tiferet. Tiferet in Hebrew, it means beauty. It means harmony. In some translation, it even means splendor, and in others, it simply means the heart. It sits at the exact center of the tree of life, the middle, the pivot point, the place where entire structure of the tree turns and breathes. You just came from Hod and Netzach, the mind that names and the heart that endures, sitting across from each other on their own two pillars, mirror to mirror. Tiferet sits above both of them, gathering them. It is where the understanding Hod worked so hard for and the wanting Netzach refused to let go of, finally stop arguing and become one thing, a life lived with both clarity and pulse. If you draw the tree of life on a page, every path leads to Tiferet eventually. 6 Sepharets connect directly to it. It receives from above and it also gives to below. It is both the gathering point and the distribution center. In the body, it lives in the chest, the sternum, the heart space, the place that opens and closes, that cracks and heals, that somehow keeps choosing to feel things anyway. In the plant kingdom, Tiferet is the flower, not the root that anchors, not the crown that reaches, but the bloom. The part that opens for no practical reason except that it is time and the conditions are right and something inside it simply knows. I want to stay with that for a moment because there is something the flower understands that we keep forgetting. It does not bloom strategically. It does not bloom when it has received enough validation. It does not wait until the other flowers confirm that blooming is safe or appropriate or well-timed. It blooms because that is what it is. Because the entire structure of root, stem, and leaf has been building towards this one expression, and when the moment comes, it opens without apology, without audition, without requiring the world to be ready first. That is not softness. That is extraordinary courage. Let me explain. It is not an accident that the word for courage and the word for heart share a root in so many languages. Carries that same etymology. Cor ago. I bring heart. The drink Roman soldiers took before they needed exactly that. Courage was never the absence of feeling. It was always the heart, on purpose, at the moment that called for it. So here we are at the doorway. Here's what the Kabbalists understood that I think we have mostly forgotten. The heart is not just a feeling, it's a function. Tiferet is the pivot point of the entire tree, and the pivot point is structural, not sentimental. Above it, the Sephart becomes more luminous, more abstract, closer to the ineffable. Below it, they are denser, more embodied, more bound to the particular. Netzach, wanting, Hod, understanding, Yesod, dreams and cycles, and Malkuth, earth and form. The heart is what holds them all in relationship. Without Tiferet, the upper and the lower tree cannot communicate. The root has no sense of what the crown is reaching for. The mind has no way to feel what the desire already knows. The whole system becomes what so many of us actually feel in ourselves, a kind of vertical disassociation, living in the head, cut off from the body, wanting fiercely, unable to name it, busy all the time, connected to nothing. Tiferet is what restores the conversation. And this is why the old healers in every tradition that has drawn a map of the human body place something sacred in the center of the chest, not because it is sentimental, like I've said before, but because it's structural, because the integration of a life, any life, your life, requires that the heart be open enough to hold both what is above and what is below, and find the thread that runs through it all. When Tiferet is depleted, when the heart center goes quiet, we know it. Not always as heartbreak, sometimes as a kind of flatness, a going through the motions quality, a sense that something is happening in your life, but you are not quite inside it. Have you ever felt that? You are managing it. You are doing all of the right things, but the warmth is low, the color is muted, and the things that used to open you have stopped opening you. The plants of Tiferet know exactly what to do with that. Now let me talk about the chakra connection. If you haven't reviewed some of the chakras in season 1, I want you to walk season 1 with me. You've already met this territory from another doorway. When we arrived at the 4th chakra, we talked about the heart as a bridge, the exact center point of the 7, 3 below it concerned with survival and power and will, 3 above it concerned with expression and perception and pure consciousness. The 4th chakra element is air. Its teaching is the same one Tiferet offers now, that the heart is not the soft center of the body, it is the load-bearing one. Different traditions, but the same architecture. Both put the heart at the mathematical middle of their map, not because it's the most comfortable stop, but because it's the only place positioned to hold both halves at once. What Tiferet adds to what the heart chakra already has taught you is that the heart doesn't just receive and radiate love the way we usually talk about it. It receives the mind's clarity from Hod and the body's longing from Netzach, and it does the actual work of weaving them together into something whole enough to live inside. If season 1's heart chakra episode is calling you back, go find it. It will sit alongside this one the way 2 hands rest, one over the other on the chest. So let's meet the herb borage. Let me tell you the whole story of this one, because she deserves the full room today. Borage, star flower. She grows fast and a little unruly. Hairy stems, broad leaves, and those small, five-pointed blue blossoms that seem to glow from the inside, even in ordinary garden light. She is not rare. She is not expensive. She is the kind of plant that shows up in cottage gardens and reseeds herself without asking permission, which feels in itself like part of the teaching. Her name carries the whole lesson before you even get to the herbalism. The most cited origin is the Latin corago, quote unquote, I bring heart. The Celtic word boracht means courage. Elder wrote that borage steeped in wine banishes sorrow and dullness of spirit. Roman soldiers drank her before battle, and medieval knights carried her in an image stitched into their scarves given by the women who loved them. John Gerard, the great Renaissance herbalist, gave her this line, and I think about it often. Quote, I, borage, bring always courage, unquote. In Western herbalism, borage has long been used as what some herbalists call an adrenal restorative, a plant for people who have been running on reserves. Isn't that all of us these days? Malkuth Wood, one of the herbalists I return to again and again, writes about borage specifically for grief and for the exhaustion that comes after a person has been strong for too long without rest. Not to be confused with the anxious exhaustion, but we're talking about the depleted exhaustion, the kind that comes after you have already done the hard thing and now your whole system is asking to be replenished before it's asked to be brave again. That is different from hawthorn's tonic strength or rose's gentle opening. Borage doesn't slowly restore your capacity to feel, and she doesn't soften what's closed. She meets you at the specific moment you have to do the hard, heart-forward thing anyway. The sentence you have to say, the version of yourself you have to keep showing up as. And she says, here, borrow mine for a moment. A quick, honest herbalist note. Borage, like many plants in her family, contains trace amounts of alkaloids, so she's traditionally taken as a light infusion. Flowers more than leaf, short steep, not a daily, forever tonic, and it's worth sourcing a reputable low PA cultivar if you're brewing her regularly. She's an herb for the specific moment which suits her teaching. Borage isn't meant to be background maintenance. She's meant to be reached for on the day that you need her. So with that said, that is Tiferet. If you think about it, the heart doesn't stay open through willpower or constant tending. It opens in the specific moment courage is called for, and then it rests. And then, when the next moment comes, it opens again. I want to sit here with you for a moment in this Tiferet space, because this one is personal in more ways than one. I have known what it is to have a heart that would not stay open, not from cruelty, just from self-protection, from having learned in rooms I was still small enough to be shaped by, that staying soft was a liability, that needing things made you a burden, that if you could just get very, very good at not needing, at being the one who holds and gives and tends and never requires, you'd be safe. And I got very good at it in my relationships. And I walked around for years with what looked like a full life and felt like a locked room. What Tiferet has taught me slowly through herbs and the practice of the long seasons of learning is to let things in, is that the heart does not close to protect itself. The heart closes to survive something that the conditions around it could not hold. And when the conditions change, when it is safe, when it is seen, when something tender finally says you do not have to hold this one alone, the heart knows. It remembers it is doing what it is built to do, and that is to open. Here is the part I did not expect to say out loud when I sat down to write this. This episode is proof of its own teaching. I tried to release Tiferet once already, out of order, because the ground beneath it was ready. It did not land the way it needed to, so I took it back down. I let Malkuth, Yesod, Hod and Netzach finish their work first, and only now, with all of that underneath it, does the heart episode actually open the way it was always meant to. The herbs did not open my heart. I want to be precise about that. They created the conditions. They lowered the temperature enough, slowed the vigilance enough, gave the nervous system enough steadiness that my own heart could remember what it already knew. That is Tiferet medicine. That is what it does for the whole tree, and apparently for the whole series. It does not force integration. It creates the conditions in which integration becomes possible, and then quietly, usually with something warm in your hands, something opens. Let me ask you a question. Where in your life have you been trying to force a bloom before the roots underneath it were ready? And what would it look like to let it wait? Not out of avoidance, but out of respect for its own timing. This week, I want to give you an invitation to practice. I want to invite you into a Tiferet practice. And it is simple, uncomfortably simple, if you are someone who tends to equate effort with worthiness. If you were able to make a cup of borage flower tea, if you were able to find her. If not, make whatever you love most. What matters is the warmth, not the specific plant. Sit with both hands around the cup. Place your awareness in the center of your chest, not performing anything, just noticing what is there. The warmth or the tightness, the fullness or the flatness, the open or the closed. And ask quietly without requiring an answer. That's the medicine, my beloveds. What would it mean for this part of me to be tended to this week? Not fixed, not optimized, just tended. The way that you tend a garden with attention and care and the understanding that growing things work on their own schedule, in their own season, in ways that reward patience far more than pressure. That is the whole practice. Sometimes the most advanced spiritual work looks like sitting still with a warm cup and remembering that you have a heart. So as we move up the tree of life, I'm going to give you a quick preview of that next Friday when we meet at the table. We move upward into the throat, into what they call dat. Dat is the hidden Sephara, the one drawn with a dashed circle on the tree when it's drawn at all, the one that can't be inherited or taught, only earned through direct experience, on the other side of something that broke you open and put you back together. It lives at the throat, the place where everything you have survived, integrated, and finally understood asks to be spoken, not performed, not explained, simply said clearly, at last. The herbs of that one is mullein, sage, the plants that help the body say what it has been carrying in the chest, what rises like smoke, what finally releases. I'm already thinking about it in my journal as I write. But, my beloveds, before we go, I would like to say thank you for being here. Ashe. Thank you for showing up on a Friday with your cup and your willingness, for making space for the quiet things that move the heart and warm the soul, for staying with this series even while it found its own footing, a little out of order, the way most true things do. This work grows because you return to it. And for those that are new here, well, welcome. It is greatly appreciated. And it is not something that I hold lightly. If something in here named a thing you have been carrying without language, carry it a little more gently now. And if one person came to mind while you were listening, the friend who has been giving more than they've been receiving, the someone whose heart you know is tired, pass this episode along, not as a prescription, just as I thought of you kind of thing. That is how this golden community grows, quietly and intentionally, one warm cup at a time. For the herbs are never just a drink, they are the doorway, because in the end, we are all just walking each other home. Ram Dass, come, take my hand. This is Bridget, signing off with a hug and a mug, always steeped in intention and offered with care.